Okay,
so we'll just start a little bit of warming up just for the ankles. Holding the sword here. Just rolling through the joints. On the other side. Good. Raising up onto the toes. And then onto the heels. To the toes. Onto the heels. Toes, heels. And then from here with the feet down in the ground, I just want you to raise the toes up. Just raising the toes up. This way. And then I want you to just raise the big toe if you can. Keep the rest of the fingers on the ground. Fingers? Toes. This is fun. Fingers. Toes. No, keep the toes on the ground. And raise the big toe. Raise the big finger, the big toe. And then do the same. Press the big toe into the ground and raise the other toe. And then do the same. Raise just the big toe. Wiggle your big toe. And then raise the toes. Good. And then just go into the edges, the blades of the feet. Just either side. Bending down. Stretching back. Bending down. Stretching back. And circling. Good, either way. Okay, separating them and then bringing them back up. Roll them out. Roll them back. Okay, the hips just circling. Circles. And the other way. Just with the hands on the Bokken. Rolling the shoulders. And forwards. Rolling them all forwards. And backwards. For the head, start very small, just looking over and around. Good, and the other way. Good. You're just shaking up whole body. Taking the Bokken here, you're going to stretch up, breathing in, up and back, and then bending from the knees, stretching along the spine. Elongate the spine, reach the ground, and rest the head. And then drawing up, curling up the body, and again, stretching up, back, full extension. And curling forward. Stretch the spine out. Curl up. More time, stretching up. Bending from the knees. Here. Okay, similar. You're going to go a little bit wider. You go into a horse stance so that the feet are pointed slightly out for the knees. Stretching down, sinking down with the body, keeping the spine straight here, like this. Just sit into it. Good. And then you're going to hinge from the knees, straighten the knees, and then come from the pelvis here. Stretch the arms really forward. Stretch all the way through the knees. Good. Place the hands into the ground, and then shuffle the feet towards each other. Hold just a little bit. Straighten the knees and roll the body up. So, bring the feet out. Sit into the horse stance. Spine straight, pelvis sinking down. Sit into it a little bit. And then hinge the pelvis. Straighten the knees. Stretch the arms forward. Reach the ground. Relax the head and shuffle the feet. And back up. Good. One more time. Widen the legs. Sink into the stance. Straighten the knees, stretching forward. Hold it a little bit. And reach the ground. Relax the head. Shuffle the feet. Hold this a little bit. And coming back up. Good. Okay. Good. Just do a little bit of an exercise for the legs and the lower body. It's going to be in a posture. I just want you to come into the ground, reach the ground, place the Bokken down, just raise up, and just take a few steps away from it. You just come in, just really slowly, crouching down, taking the Bokken. Just play with it. Really place the sword down with calm. Just come back in and pick it up. Yeah, and you can play with how you place it. You can place it just kind of like a stick, or you can really place it, in this case, like a sword. So placing it down to the ground, down, back up. And then also picking it up from the handle side. Yeah, so just play with placing it and picking it up. Play with just one hand, both hands. You can also play with coming down into seita. Really play with it. You can play with placing it behind you, picking it up from behind. So, very good. Okay, and then do the last few. You're gonna close your eyes and do it. So you're gonna close your eyes, place the sword down, and then I want you to really step away from it, and then see if you can come back and re-find it, and you miss it. Also for your spatial awareness, is good in the morning. So close your eyes, place it down, really walk away from it, and then see if you can kind of re-find it. You can do this with any action. It's also good. That's it. That's it. Very good. 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 Good, good, good. Okay, good. And then the last one we'll do. In this case, don't look at the sword. So we have a tendency to look at it. So now you've done it with the eyes closed. You're not using the eyes to find the sword, using the body. So in this case, keep the focus totally out, and you're just going to keep to this form. So really now, as if you've got a sword, you're going to just walk in a few steps, lower to the ground, and keep your eyes out this way. So don't watch the sword. So all the time, don't watch the sword. And just rise up and take a few steps. But it's still in my perception, so I can still see it. I'm just not focusing on it. And then just sink down. Yeah. And come back up. Yeah, so just kind of pick a spot out in front of you. Walk in. Reach down. You're going to keep the kind of right side forward. Place into the ground. Rise up. Step back. And then just come in again. And keep it here. So it's still in your peripheral vision. But just don't watch it with the eyes. Yeah, give it a try. Nice one. So really pick a spot in front of you. I'm going to kind of laser beam focus this spot. Don't take your eyes off it. That's it. That's it. Very good. And in this case, do it with both hands. So just watch when I go down, both hands are still on the bokken. So if you go down, they're still both hands. And don't use the other hand to try and do anything. Just raise them both down. The feelings that at any point you can come back for the attack. So this is done usually with a partner, and in the case of it's done as a ritualized practice. We usually just do this and can do a bow, but sometimes we'll do a longer form. But in this case, it's really a sense of being kind of alert and ready. In this case, really place it down with both hands. That's right. And the same when you pick it up, both hands. So don't do this with one hand. This way. Do this with both hands so that you can really feel that you can use the sword straight away. Yeah. So just feel that even though you don't do anything, the sword's still active in the grip. So stay alert, as the famous Boris Johnson says. This way. Yeah. Stay alert. Boris. That's it. Yeah. So keep the sword also in front. This is also a threat. So this sword is also a threat. As soon as I do, if I come forward and then I do this, then I've created an opening for the other person. So in this case, really come forward with the feeling of this is a threat. This is a threat. It's still a threat. It's still a threat. It's still a threat. It's a mutually assured survival. You both do this action, but if one of you cancels out on this action, then it creates an opening. So do this with full feeling, full alertness. Exactly. That's good. Very nice. That's it. Perfect. Very good. Very good. Okay, great. Very good. So we'll look at some striking movements. We're just going to go from this position here, right side. If you want to take a slide forward, so we're going to go straight in for this movement, pressing forward. So everything's just going to press forward in this case. So not like the first suburi where you're on the spot, but really from the back foot pressing out and striking down. So really a press forward. And in this case, don't find the back, just use the top of the head to strike down. And try and really make this one movement. So it's not a rise and then a cut. It's really one thing, one cut. So really start from a really calm position here and then just press in with the strike. Yeah, give it a try. Just a really basic Shomanuchi attack. So one cut. And this way. And that's it. Okay, good. That's it. Yeah. Okay, try and avoid two things. There's two kind of things I want to avoid. One is raising and then moving, and the other is cutting and then moving. Try and avoid both of these. So you want to really unify the action. The whole thing is driven by the body work. This way. So it's actually my feeling isn't that I cut with the sword, it's that I cut with the body coming in. So the feeling's really a cut with the body, not really with not just with the sword. So don't raise and then press forward. And also don't cut and then come forward with the body. So don't try and really unify the movements that it's actually from the body this way out. Yeah, if you're kind of struggling with this, the best way to do is from here and just press out with the body. So it's just one movement from here, press out with the body. But it's not gung gung and it's not gung gung this way. Yeah, it's just gung that way. Yeah, it's one gung, no gung gung. Boom, this one thing. So you can play. It's harder with the cut because you're doing two things, you're raising and cutting. But see, the raise and the cut is one thing. And that's nice. Good. 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 Okay, good. So with a similar kind of feeling again, one movement and one cut, you're going to come now from the back leg. Move around and cut down. So now really feel from, you're going to press into the front foot, press in and roll down this way. Again, try and avoid making this two, 1, 2, like this, or with the body coming in and then cutting down. Really try and unify it. One step, one cut. Just make the impulse to act and the actions one. The raise and the cut is one thing, one motion. Yeah, give it a try. Just cutting from the left side. So starting in the right hand meet, left side you're pulling. Make it very sharp. It's a very sharp cut. Yeah, good. That's it. That's it. Okay, good. And the main things to avoid in this case is one is to roll the body back and then come around. In this case, doing a kind of circular movement. Again, if you're looking at kind of body work, the feelings from this position, this. So the feelings just to come straight through with the body and strike this way. So this is really, again, the feeling of the body doing the cut. So it's not that the arms and the sword do the cut and the body's just kind of dragged by it, but it's really the feeling that the whole body makes the cut. So my cut, my impulse, my feeling to cut comes from the body, not from the sword. So try and really generate this feeling of the cuts here in the body. So the feeling that this whole backside of the body, the right shoulder, the left shoulder, the left hip, slicing this way. Slicing this way. I also want to avoid kind of these kind of retracting movements. Just come in and cut this way. So it's just one step and it's really an entry forward and a cut this way. Yeah, just try and make it one thing. We're trying to generate the feeling of the cut in the body first. Good. Okay, good. You're gonna do the same thing, the same movement. You're gonna do a movement before preliminary movement. So in this case, from this position, I want you to just roll back the body this way. Just drop the sword down. So you're gonna do this movement here, roll back and drop the sword down. So if you're in this position, just roll back the body, drop the sword. Now from here, I'm gonna slide into the side and strike down. So do one step back, here, and then pressing from the front foot. Use the same strike, the yokomenuchi to the right side now. So roll back, strike forward. Really with a feeling of inviting. The sense of rolling back, it's not really retreating back this way. I'm just really creating an opening this way. So it's a kind of invitation and then come in and strike down this way. Yeah, so retreat, left side forward, and then come forward for the yokomen this time. Yeah, give it a try. The retreat.
Be practicing coming off the line on the yoke.
For the cut, I'm gonna slide here, and then as I make the cut, yeah, just a little bit off the line. Yeah.
Thank you.
This way. That's it. Super. Yeah, and then the problem with these kind of preliminary movements is I start to anticipate what I'm going to do next. So it feels like this, but I'm not really committed to the movement because I'm already thinking of going forward. But I really think that you're going to go from a position of calm. All these kind of kamae stances, not really stances, they're kind of states, calm states this way. Really go into a kind of calm position here. So I have no real intention to move yet. There's no intention forward. And then boom, then the movement comes. But don't dirty the kamae, basically. Keep the kamae very neutral. If I'm in these kind of kamais where this is basically signaling, I'm going to move forward. Now, this doesn't really work in terms of practical movement. So really keep the kamae very clear, neutral, and then from here, move forward into it. Yeah. So just try it. Don't muddy the kamae. Don't make it dirty. Really keep it clear. Yeah. And then basically making the movements more pure in intention. Yeah. What? Very neat. Great, Bernie. Great. Oh, okay, good. So we'll do a few more. So in this case, you're going to do this movement. So you're going to, again, prepare backward, but I'm not going to change the side. I'm just going to lower the sword down. So in this case, you're in right side, and I maintain the right side. And I just slide back, basically open up the top side of the body. And the sword just lowers down into the ground. This way. So from here, just roll back with the hips and sink down. Now from here, you're going to snap up onto the wrist this way, and then slide in this way and strike for the solar plexus. So just do this one step with one step first. You're going to slide back, open the body up, snap up onto the wrist, and then just take one step and slice into the stomach. This actually came up in one of these discussions about striking and cutting. And someone was saying that this is a slicing movement with the Bokken, but it's not a slicing movement with the Bokken. It's a striking movement. So I'm making a percussive impact into the solar plexus. So you can read it as a slice in terms of a slice with a sword, but in terms of Bokken work, this is just a strike. So in this case, roll back, strike up for the wrist. This is also a percussive impact. It's not really a slicing movement. It's a percussive impact to the wrist. I want to take the wrist out, and then I want to slam into the solar plexus and double the person over this way. So these are two strikes. So in this case, slide back, really with the feeling of sinking down into the ground. Snap out to the wrist, and then snap out just with one step that way. Just practice that one step here. Give it a try. That's yeah, good. And don't yet do this. Don't yet draw the feet out. So don't yet do this work. This way. This is okay for later. We'll do this, but for now, really get the feeling that you're going to travel from this foot. This way. So the impact's going to come here, this way, and then the foot's going to travel through. What the tendency to happen is if I go straight to the both feet going together, this kind of happens. I kind of fall through the cut, but I really want to impact with the ground. So this, pressing into this foot and just stepping through. So don't adjust this foot, just press through it. This way. And then in the next step, this foot will fall through with it. But just for now, keep this as two steps. Keep this as one step, sorry. One, just that way. And really get the feeling of impacting with the cut, with the strike. This way. Yeah, give it a try.
Michael.
Yeah.
How far with the last movement do you let the Bokken go backwards?
No, none.
Not that much, eh?
No, hardly. It's flexible, but it doesn't go back basically. So you're here. What I do is pull it back and then push it forward. But it's basically if you can think this strike's like 1, 2.
2. Yeah. So you keep the position there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna snap into the wrist and then snap into the stomach. So see, this is very direct. It's actually just gonna go boom, boom, that way. So try and kind of withdraw it as little as possible. I basically don't pull the arms back. Yeah, thanks.
When you do the strike to the solar plexus, Michael, where should you be facing your feet and your look? And
I'm here. I'm basically off to the side, but my connection here is pressing through here. You see that? Okay. So my next step is basically to travel just straight through the person this way. But I'm at that point. Yeah, that way.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to pass through. Good. That's it. Very good. Okay, and the first step, the first movement up is not straightforward down the line and then coming off. If in this case you go straight forward down the line, you risk really being struck with the sword. So in this case, you're going to wedge off the line this way. It's very slight, but imagine the sword cuts here. I'm basically going to wedge off so that my shoulder doesn't get cut this way. But if I stay on the line, I basically walk straight into the cut this way. Even if I find the wrist, I'm really at risk that the sword's here and it's going to just collapse down onto me. So the feeling's actually creating a new center line here, this way. I'm actually working by cutting onto the center line still, this way. But I can't cut onto the center line by staying on it, in this case. Sometimes you can, but in this case you can't. You wedge off to your left side, and then you fully go to the left side this way. Yeah. So in this case, really just wedge off slightly at an angle to the left side, and then fully out this way. Yeah, give it a try. Yeah, that's very good. Good. Okay, good. So we're going to go to the next step. This is not the one we normally do. So in this case, you're going to roll back, strike up for the wrist, strike up for the solar plexus, and now normally you bring the feet together and then come to this position and either twist back with the hip and cut this way. We're going to do a different footwork now. So in this case, roll back, strike up, slice out to the side. Now with this leg, what I want you to do is fully advance through and rotate back this way. This is also why I don't bring the feet together in this case. Here, strike through and then take a full step this way. Follow through and strike down with the cut. This is, you're going to double the person over and then strike them in the back of the head. This way. Very nice. This way. Strike for the wrist, strike for the solar plexus, and then take a full step with the cut. This way. And striking down on the left side. Yeah, give it a try. Yeah, really.
Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah, quick question. For the last strike
Yeah.
that we do on the left, should
Yeah.
I imagine to go for the attacker's wrist or actually try to get to the body?
In the last cut.
Yeah, the last cut after the turn.
My feeling in this one is like I can do this two ways. This way for the wrist, this way for the solar plexus, and then if you imagine, I'm gonna rotate all the way back and then strike for the head. So if this one's successful, then if I strike this through, then the person goes like this, like this. So then when I make the rotation and I make the cut down, I'm basically striking on the back of the head.
Okay.
That makes sense.
that makes sense, yeah.
So this is really like slicing through, and then slicing the back of the head. The other way I can use this is if this is really, really very successful and the person totally is doubled over, then they're done. So I use the second cut to cut someone else. Right, that way. So you can use that kind of flexibly. The main thing is that this stance gives me an opportunity to really open the movement out and then cut back that way.
Okay.
But
Thank you very much.
wrist, solar plexus, back of the head. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, good. That's okay, cool. That's good. Good. Okay, good. So we're going to do a very similar movement, but in this case, you're going to go to the other side. So this one again, start by coming rolling back this way down. Now from here, I'm going to slide off, wedge off to the right side, this way. So before you wedge off to your left side, now you're going to roll down and wedge to the right, this way. So you roll back, wedge off to the right, and now here I want to make the same strike. So I bring the front leg out, and I strike down this way. In this case, I open the front hand out this way. So in this case, like this, I roll down, wedge off to the right side, strike for the wrist, and then advance with the back foot this way. In this case, this hand's opening and pressing in. I'm striking again with this point into the solar plexus this way, that way. And the hand's just kind of open this way. Yeah. So do this in 3 moves. 1, 2, 3. This way. Yeah, give it a try. So this is now all on the right side. Wedging to the right. That's it. Yeah, good. In this case, the position of the hand is important for the next step. You come here, don't do this way. So don't push in this way, it's this way. So it's in this position. And basically that just means, if you think about it, this grip, I just release the grip and slide it down. Slide it down, but I don't make an adjustment with the hand this way. So you strike up and then just slide that hand down this way. So this is in this position, and this is also so that it can just go back down the sword. If I'm in this position, then I've got to again rotate it back again. So it slides, this hand just basically slides down. Slides down. We're used to making this move when we do this move. So basically the palm just follows down this way. Follows down, presses. Ooh, don't go there yet. So basically do nothing with the hand, just flow down the sword. That way.
Michael?
Yeah.
I have a tendency to pull the Bokken back in this position towards this hand.
Let's see. Just do the movement naturally or normally.
And now I have this feeling here, here, that I want to move it like this.
Yeah.
Keep the contact here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure if that's correct or not.
In this case, let's see, where am I? In this one, it's like it slides down, so you come to here, and then I just kind of slide it down into it. See that? It's like that way. So the feelings that this happens. So basically, I'm always in contact with the sword, so it just use it and then have to find it. Basically, I just slide down it that way. Let's see that way. That way. Yeah, that helps.
Is there now what I actually mean is this movement from your right hand. So are you pulling it inwards or pushing it outwards?
In this case, I'm kind of spiraling it.
Yeah.
This way. So it's doing it. It doesn't come. I don't retract it and push it, and I don't push it out in this case. But it's like a spiraling movement this way. This way. Oh, it's hard to show. There. It's a bit like when you do a katatadori, ikkyo.
Yeah.
That kind of spiral.
Yeah.
A bit like that spiral. That way. So yeah, see it?
Yeah, and what I mean, you get this spiral, so you actually pull this point towards you because you're spiraling.
Yeah, a little. Yeah. That.
So you have tension on this part of your right arm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
That way. Yeah, good.
Yeah. Thanks.
Michael, when you go from the so if you do the wrist strike and wedge it off, then I find that my back leg is just sort of dragging.
In this case, do
this one goes out, doesn't it?
That one. Yeah.
But this one wants to step.
In this case, just have the feeling that you can do this. For now, do this basically here. It's actually not a problem that the back leg starts to come. This is actually what you want. You want the leg to be dragged with the motion.
Okay.
So it's good. If you can basically progress from here. Now the feelings like I transfer the weight. Important. The movement comes from that foot. That way. In this case, the back leg is where I'm going to place the pressure into it. And then as I transfer the weight to the front leg for the contact, this leg will want to kind of move with it. So no problem. Okay, and then go the next step. So you come to here, strike it for the wrist, roll out to this side, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take the back leg and you're going to take one step through this way and then cutting down. So this is really dynamic movement. Draw back, wedge off to the right side, strike for the solar plexus, and then here draw the whole back leg through, rotate and cut down on the right side. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and cut down. Yeah, give it a try. Good. Okay, good. And again, just try and really generate this movement from the body. So you come down, really the sensation of snapping up, rolling out to the side. Now in the rotation, you're really going to do this from the body. So the tendency is to go and do something in the arms, but really allow from the base this way. You're really going to do the rotation comes totally from the body this way. So really slide out this way, and then really from the back of the body this way. This rotates, and then this hand just slides down and follows, and then cut down with the body. So really get the feeling that this is done with the feeling from the body this way. So make the rotation and the cut the same movement. This is like Shihonage. It's like the projection on Shihonage. This way, really cutting down. Yeah. So again, try and generate the feeling, generate the movement from the body, not from the sword. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Okay, good. One last one. So you're gonna come be in this position. What I want you to do now is change the feet, roll back, and I'm gonna slide the hand down already this way. This time come into this position. Yeah. So right side, you're gonna slide, change everything back this way. The hand slides down to the front this way. Everything we've been doing with the strikes have been in this part of the sword. Now what you're gonna do is come to here, and you're gonna step in and you're gonna strike with the pommel of the sword. So you can use all the part of the sword of the Bokken to strike. You're gonna come here, change, with a feeling of sinking down, relax, and then from here, changing everything, coming forward. You're gonna strike up into the head with the pommel side, the back of the sword. So this position, release down, and then rolling through, changing, striking through with the back side. Yeah, give it a try. Last one. So striking with the pommel.
Michael?
Yeah.
Can you show like from the front?
This way.
Yeah.
This way, here, and now from here, rolling in this way, just up at an angle. This way.
Yeah. Clear. Yeah. Thank you.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Michael, one question. The left hand stays in the same position. This means that that you are so you are here.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
is,
Yeah. Exactly.
Because this feels a little bit uncomfortable, and for me it would be more easy to do it, to have it like this.
Yeah.
But it should be like this, right?
Basically, if I go to, let's see, if I do this, if I change that hand, let's see, if I change that hand to this position, this is okay for this kind of strike, where this hand stays low, this way. That's okay for that one. But in terms of this one, if this hand's on top facing back, and then I do this movement, this traps the whole arm up this way, or I end up going into this kind of position, this way. But I want this to be a very clear snapping move this way. So this hand position allows the arm to fold down this way. Whereas if it's in this position, the elbow needs to come up, and then it traps the movement up this way. You see that?
Yeah, this is clear. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You can place the hand that way, and then in that case, the strike's going to come that way. That way. But in this case, this way.
Michael, Michael, could you just a little approach? Yeah. Is it going to end here?
Oh, let's see.
The back. Is it going to end here? The support here.
I mean,
the back one after the attack.
This.
Yeah, that one. The backhand after the attack.
Yeah, I'm in that position. Right.
Well, you froze, so I can. Oh yeah, just a second. Yeah, can you approach? Okay. Yeah, because I couldn't see and I couldn't support it with the mid finger, so that's why it didn't make sense.
I'm not really using it as a sword, but I basically don't want to do that. I don't want to curl the fingers over that way. So like we would use the Joe. In this case, the support's just that.
And it's on the hand. Yeah, like this. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Curl around the spine. If you've got the sword that it's like the finger. It's like I'm in this position.
Yeah.
That way. And the thumb's also tucked. Not like this.
Okay. I see. Thank you.
Okay, good. Last one. Just as Roland mentioned it. In this case, you're going to keep the same hand position. So you're going to come down this way. Now, in this case, this is if I can really blend early. If I can really see the attack coming, then I can strike in for the throat, and then maybe control the elbow. But in this case, this is where I've missed the blend. So I've missed the initial blend. So what I do now is really roll off the line and strike down with the pommel side and strike down to the temple side. So I avoid the cut in this case. The first one's a blend where I'm coming underneath the cut this way. So I really see the cut early. Now in this case here, I'm going to slide off to the side. It's like I miss this, I convert it into a strike to the side this way. So in this case, the hand, don't do anything with the hand, but allow it to revolve around the sword. So in this case, don't try and keep the hand like this. This again will crunch the body up. You can do it just about that way, but then the tendency is for this arm to get left in the way and get cut. So what I do with this arm is actually nothing. I kind of keep it as it is, and the sword revolves around it that way. So you're in this position, and then imagine you're just going to come off the line and strike the side of the temple with the pommel that way. Just try this. This way. It's a kind of late blend. That way. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, so in this case, when you finish this one, the hand should be like this way, in this side. That just allows the sword to move around the hand this way, and then the hand's in a slightly more comfortable position. Basically, this hand's like, it's a bit like you would do an Ikkyo. So the hand's kind of flexible on the sword, but it's not rigid on, and I definitely don't want to grab it. So in this case, don't like glue the hand to the sword, but it's always kind of flexible, especially this hand. It's a bit like when you use the Jo work that we did a few days ago. The hand's very flexible on the sword, so it's able to move without passing on over to the blade side. So you can just play the last few minutes, just play with kind of passing the. We do these movements sometimes quite a lot. Sometimes quite a lot. That way. So just play with that. You can do all these kind of movements, thrusting movements this way, striking movements this way, but the hand's always flexible on the sword, and that means that it can just travel back down, and then I can translate it into a cut this way. So just play the last few minutes, just play with the ability to shift the hand and then find a strike, shift the hand, find a strike. The front hand can also shift as well. We've not done any this way, but you can just play with it that way. That way. That's very nice. Yeah, great. Super duper. Okay, good. Very good. Bow out. Domo, arigato.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.